I know what it is about being in a relationship, but you're just not very hungry. Well, just gotta watch her little waistline, you know? Gotta fit into that dress.
Have you guys thought about or talked about any courtship standards or guidelines?
We've talked about that. I have a desire to save really the physical for marriage, and that there are temptations, and if we open a lot of doors physically, then the time spent together basically becomes a time of saying, okay, we can't cross this line, we can't cross this line.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Tuesday, May 3rd. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to my channel. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining in the fun by subscribing to the channel and turning your notifications on. We've seen a huge spike in increase in our subscribers simply because we're asking you to subscribe. So thanks to all the new subscribers. So glad to have you here. So glad for you, so happy to see you introducing yourselves in the comments, and it's been a super fun few days on this channel. Today is going to be a super busy day, so do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel, get your notifications turned on, make sure you don't ever miss anything. And today we're going to have some topics of conversation around Jeremy and Jinger, Vuolo. We're going to talk about the sister wives. There's a silly video I found of Christine, and then also we're going to talk about the roll-offs. So let's start with Jinger and Jeremy. Everyone that follows this channel knows that I love Jinger, and I have this iffy relationship with Jeremy. I don't necessarily hate Jeremy, but I don't love some of the things that he does or says. A lot of fans have had a very skeptical relationship with Jeremy because they feel like Jeremy was brought into the situation with Jinger, and a lot of fans just felt like the two of them didn't have a lot in common. Jinger was a homeschooled girl, which, by the way, no shade, but her parents left her very isolated with her siblings. She didn't have a ton of interactions beyond filming on the show and being around her siblings. So she was raised in a home where women's role was to become a wife and a mother, and there wasn't a whole lot of thought about women going to college or having a career. And Jeremy grew up in the secular world where he attended college, he was a professional soccer player, and he has a mother that has a master's degree and has worked for the majority of his life. He is part of a very conservative Christian sect, but he has more progressive sense about women than the Duggars do because he believes in the education of women. I mean, he's talked about that on his podcast. Jinger and Jeremy have had a mixed relationship with the fans. Some fans love them, some fans don't. Most fans will agree they love Jinger. Not all fans love Jeremy. Jeremy's sort of like the wild card in the situation. Some fans just don't trust him. Now, why don't they trust Jeremy? Well, first of all, some fans think that Jeremy is a fame seeker. They believe that maybe he wanted to get involved with Jinger because of her fame. He had tried to have a professional soccer career and it just didn't land. He only was in that for a few years, and he might have been chasing the spotlight. Now, that's never been confirmed, and I don't know that a relationship would continue on for this long if it was just about fame. There has to be something in common. So they also think that Jeremy likes the limelight, and so this video will be talking about that. Jeremy is in his 4th year, I believe, at the Master's Seminary, which is the seminary that John MacArthur's Grace Community Church operates. John MacArthur has been in the news lately for a long list of really bad things, and his church has not really been addressing the problems inside of the church. Jeremy is a humongous fan and loves John MacArthur, and he too has not said anything about any of the allegations that have come out about John. Jeremy will be done with his final semester this spring, and then he's off. And I don't know if he's going to be a pastor. I mean, I would hope after 4 years you're going to be a pastor, but Jeremy seems to have his sights set on maybe being an influencer. So ever since the Jinger and Jeremy have moved to California, fans have noticed that they've become a little bit more fashionable and a lot into sneakers. That's right, they wear sneakers for everything. Now, for some people, sneakers are life and sneakers are fashion. For me, they're just shoes. But Jeremy and Jinger love sneakers. So over the weekend, Jeremy was seen at a launch party for the Shoe Surgeon, which is a guy named Dominic Shimbrone, who makes unique, sort of glammed, blinged out shoes for people. The shoes can run up to $5,000 a pair, and they're individualized and, created for whatever the person wants. So in an effort to launch the brand new studio, Dominic hosted a party and it was also coincided with his birthday. And at the party, there was an open bar, there was basketball, a dunk contest, tattoos. Yes, that's right. People that went to the event could get free tattoos. Dominic was even giving these tattoos or designing the tattoos and putting them on people. There was a whole display where people could bling out and sort of make their unique shoes with glitter and with whatever he uses, like it's gems or things that you put on them. I don't know anything about these shoes. I'm sorry, I'm old. So it was a big event, and apparently Jeremy was there and he snuck into the event without Jinger. So he gets in and he's seen walking around with some guy friends. Also at the event is there's DJs there playing music, and as the night sort of wore on, a couple rappers took the stage and they performed. So there was rap music, and there were hip hop people there, and there's basketball, and there's booze, and it's, for LA, it's a totally normal scene. Add in that there's major YouTubers there, huge influencers, and for somebody that is in the scene of LA and wants to be seen and wants to be around people and wants to get snapped in photographs and mingle with other people, this kind of event isn't abnormal at all. It's just kind of different for Jeremy and Jinger to be involved in. So Jinger was not there, and apparently the Sun ran an article today and said that Jeremy was walking around with a couple friends, and all of the guys were making use of the open bar. Now, the bar was sponsored by a whiskey brand, and there was specific drinks that were the specials for the night, but I think they had any option you could drink. So when Jeremy was there, his friends are drinking. It's not clear if Jeremy was drinking or not, and I'm not sure. I mean, the only photograph they have of him is he's holding a cup, and there's ice in it, and there's a little bit of a beverage, but who knows? It could have been lemonade. You just don't know. But he's at an event that is very different in that it's more in line with his old life than it is with his new life. Now, on the flip side, Jeremy is huge into fashion, loves tennis shoes, and also might be wanting to mingle with people, maybe do collaborations with people, maybe get a pair of shoes. Who knows? He loves, he loves Air Jordans. He's obsessed with tennis shoes. You see them wearing shoes all the time. So they've kind of become sneaker aficionados. So Jeremy's at this event with a bunch of guys who are also drinking, and immediately my brain goes to, what would Jim Bob be thinking? Jim Bob was so concerned about Jeremy and Jinger marrying, specifically because Jeremy was from a world that was very different than Jinger. He was not part of the IBLP growing up. He had a completely different theology. He's part of the Reformed Baptist movement, whereas Jim is a legalist, and Jeremy hates legalism. And they butted heads over their theology, but he also had concerns of Jeremy being more worldly and having, more worldly influences. And for a lot of people, there was concern about him pulling Jinger into that. So I'm sure somewhere Jim Bob is losing his mind, knowing that Jeremy's at this boozy party where tattoos are getting put on people and they're listening to rap music. I mean, it's If you could put everything into a room that is anti-IBLP, this would be the party. They don't like rock music. They weren't playing rock music, but they were playing rap music, which has a beat and a guitar, so it's like kind of the same thing. They don't drink alcohol. They don't like go to parties like this. They don't hang out with people that they're really against tattoos. They're very much against, any sort of like illusion that you're out of control. So if your friends are out drinking and you're with them, they would say that that's a bad influence. Now, no one is saying that Jeremy and Jinger can't partake, but Jeremy in the past has mentioned that he no longer drinks due to his college days where he would get a little bit too boozy, go to parties, get trashed. He also got arrested. He almost was charged with assault. That charge was reduced. And so he dove into the ministry after all of that happened, and today has been working on his master's in seminary at John MacArthur's church, which is also very against really what Jeremy was going to. Like, Jeremy's church would not have approved of him being there. But Jeremy is doing the thing out in LA. So I was shocked when I saw this because it's actually, I'm going to put this out there. It's nice to see someone connected to the Duggars actually doing something normal. Not so pretentious, not so like we're so much better than you because we don't do these things. It was nice to see Jeremy in a setting that was average. People his age and people Ginger's age, she's in her late 20s, in LA, go out to functions like this. People that have platforms and influencers intermingle and work together and collaborate. So that to me is kind of cool. Sadly, though, Ginger's not there with him. And so I'm like, maybe Jinger didn't want to go. Maybe they needed someone to take care of the kids. So he's there with his friends drinking. I don't know if he's drinking. Ginger's at home with the kids, whatever. So Jim Bob back in Arkansas is probably losing his mind because this is exactly what he was worried about when he was hanging out, when Jeremy and Jinger were courting. And if you have any doubts about the problems in their relationship or Jim Bob's feelings about Jeremy, pick up this book and read it. Jeremy goes into detail about the months-long struggle he had with Jim Bob related to the relationship with Jinger. So Jinger and Jeremy have been married for, 5-6 years now. They have 2 kids. Jeremy's now hobnobbing with people out in LA, and Ginger's at home with the kids. And it makes me wonder, is this something where Jeremy has been participating in this sort of social environment for the entirety of the time that he's been in LA? Or is this the first time we've just seen him out, and it's the first time we're actually capturing him out in an event like this? Or is this his first time? That's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm also wondering if he's so comfortable hanging out with friends that drink, is he also partaking? And if he were partaking, he's a legal adult. He can drink. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way that their religion works, it makes them feel that anything is so terribly wrong that they can't do anything. It makes people feel like they can't have any fun. You can have drinks if you're over the age of 21 in the United States. Just an FYI. So Jeremy is going to cause Jim Bob's head to explode. No word on how Ginger is going to react. Jeremy, interestingly, did not post about going to this event on his Instagram. He posted photographs of them going to church the next day. And the only way we know that this happened is because someone who was at the party saw him and snapped some photos of him. Shocking. So my question, is Jeremy hiding a double life of being a influencer in LA who's on a quest for fame, and he also drinks while pretending he doesn't drink? Or is this just Jeremy being Jeremy, having a good time out with some friends on a Saturday night? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.